In this video, we are going to learn about Python function, and we will spend some time with Python function in the next few videos also. So, what is a function? Function means you write a piece of code to do some specific task and then call that piece of code from anywhere else in the code as many times as you want. For example, let's focus on this left hand side picture. Here actually the code or the instruction set marked with this label 1 is prepared to perform some kind of specific task. Maybe some kind of arithmetic operation, maybe some kind of algebraic operation, maybe some kind of logical operation, or some kind of complex any other different type of work. So label 1 is doing that specific task. Instruction sets which are inside this label 1. Now from any other part of the code which is depicted using these code blocks like instruction 1 and instruction 2. So from anywhere else in the code, whenever you need to do that specific task, you can simply call that label 1, or you can just say like that go to label 1, or normally it is called call that specific task. Now whenever you will call that specific task with the name specified, here I have specified just level 1. So whenever you will call this program control will directly move to that part of the code as shown by this arrow, and then it will just execute all the lines of codes required to perform that specific task. And after the task is finished, after it is performed, then it again come back to the location from where it have been called. So that's the function. Now the situation can be easily visualized by using this simple scenario in the right hand side picture. Let's say you are Alice. Then you got two different numbers, 5 and 4.5, and for some reason you have to perform addition of those two numbers. That is, you have to just add 5 plus 4.5. But for some reason you do not know how to add two numbers. So what is your option? Well, then you remember that you have a friend called Bob who knows how to add these numbers. So what do you want to do now? Well, you can call Bob and send those two numbers, that is 5 and that 4.5, to add to Bob to do the addition part, because Bob knows how to add. So what you did is you just call Bob and you told that, well, Bob, please add 5 and 4.5. So what did you do? You call Bob and said, Bob, please add, and then pass both the numbers like 5 and 4.5 that you want to add. You pass them to Bob. All right. So now what happened in Bob's side? In Bob's side, Bob actually got those two numbers first, and then Bob calculated the result in here, because Bob knows how to add. So Bob just added two numbers, that is 5 plus 4.5, and got the result 9.5. And then Bob just returned the result back to you. So you pass the two numbers to Bob and Bob returned the result back to you again. So that's what exactly happened in function also. Now the scenario that I have just discussed, here in the middle you can see the exact algorithmic representation of that scenario. So here actually I have called, this is your normal program written in this white color, and you can have as many line of code before, and then suddenly you need to add two different numbers. And let's say you have already defined a function that is done with this yellow color and like in this box. So here actually I have implemented that Bob please add, and then it is actually accepting two different numbers, that is n1 and n2, and inside that function with which is represented using this tab character, something like this. So I have just calculated those numbers and then returned the result. So what is happening? Once again, you got two numbers to add in your program, and then instead of adding it in this place, like instead of adding, doing like 5 plus 4.5 in here, instead of doing that, you are basically calling this Bob please add function and then passing that 5 and 4.5 there. And then what is happening in the function side? It is exactly like what happens in Bob's side in our scenario. Here in the is the function Bob please add is actually receiving those two numbers, that is 5 and 4.5 here, and then the result, it is calculating the result, that is n1 plus n2, which is basically nothing but 5 and plus 4.5. And after doing this result, it is just returning the result again to the previous part of the program. So this is exactly what function does. Then now in the next couple of videos, we are going to clarify the concept with Python demo program also.